Hello and welcome back to the most amazing top 10 channel on the internet. I'm your host Rebecca Felgate, and today we're talking about the top 10 scary paintings that moved. Paintings are an art form that stem back thousands of years, and they've always held a certain degree of mystery. A lot of people report phenomenon like paintings watching them or moving in their frames, like in Harry Potter. Shout out to the fat lady and all my fellow Potterheads, especially the Slytherins. My family had a painting, in fact they still do. It's a copy of something called Fumieer, and me and my sister were really scared of him. He's like an old French dude chomping on a pipe. I always felt like he was watching me no matter where I was, and I did not like sleeping in the lounge when we were having sleepovers because he freaked me out. Let me know if you've ever been scared by a painting in the comments section down below. Also, if you guys want to connect with me on social media, the link to my Instagram is in the description box. Also, while you're down there, why don't you leave a thumbs up on this video and share it with a friend. Alright, paintings, what you got for us? Coming in at number 10, we have the Virgin Mary lip syncing. This is absolutely insane. In 2015, parishioners at the St. Charles Church in Sydney, Australia got a shock when they reported seeing the lips of Virgin Mary move in sync with the Lord's Prayer. For those skeptical, two churchgoers actually filmed the incident. The painting hangs above the church altar and is thought to have come from the Middle East. Footage filmed by young Catholic Christian curers was uploaded to YouTube, and I have to say it really does look like the Virgin Mary's mouth is moving. It also looks like Christ's hand moves at one point too. Kristen spoke to the press and said, "I believe it was a miracle and not just lighting, because we all saw it at the same time, and because her lips would start moving and then stop and then start again." Coming in at number 9, we have the Anguished Man. I absolutely cannot stand looking at this picture. I know that art is subjective, but I can't imagine having to look at this painting ever, let alone having it as a focal spot in my home. This painting is called The Anguished Man, and the urban legend goes that it was painted with the artist's own blood mixed with oil shortly before they killed themselves. That's right, painted in blood, then they committed suicide. Great! Once again, why would you ever hang this? The owner, Sean Robinson, was handed down the painting by his grandmother, but claims he doesn't display it because nobody likes it, and I wonder why. On the few times that he has displayed the picture, he and his family have reported strange goings-on, such as bangs and voices and strange smells. They even reported that the painting moves of its own accord. Trying to find proof, Sean set up a camera in his spare room and recorded the activity over the evening. This is a piece of the footage that was recorded in June 2011. That's right, there it is. Now, according to Sean, the painting was at an angle and against the wall, and there was no drafts present, so it should not have been able to fall like that. This next one is a little bit of an urban legend, but stories are all over the internet. Coming in at number 8, we have SONEES' suicide painting. So according to urban legend, a teenage Japanese girl called Sonny drew this picture and then scanned it into her computer and uploaded it to the internet. The image reportedly had quite the effect on viewers, who said that they saw sadness in her eyes. They also saw her face change expressions after staring at her. In South Korea, the story garnered a lot of momentum, and people would claim that they stared at her for longer than 5 minutes, her face would twist into a taunting smirk. According to the legend, some people who stared at the picture for longer than those 5 minutes were compelled to commit suicide. Now, it turns out it is all just an urban legend though, and the picture is by an artist called Robert Klang. The girl in the image is a fictional character called Princess Rue. Coming in at number 7, we have the MISTY painting of Bernardo de Galvez. Look at this majestic fellow. This is powerful historical Spaniard Bernardo de Galvez, who was instrumental in the Spanish military in the late 1700s. The city of Galveston in Texas is named after him, as is the city hotel, Hotel Galvez. In the hotel, there is an oil painting of Bernardo that is reportedly haunted by none other than the chap himself. The painting sits at the end of the downstairs hallway and is quite the feature. Despite being a beautiful old painting, a lot of the guests at the hotel simply don't like it one bit. A lot of people have complained that they feel cold when they're near the painting, and almost all guests of the hotel will tell you that they feel Bernardo's eyes moving to watch you. It seems if you try and take a picture of the painting without asking permission of the late great Bernardo de Galvez, it will come out blurry. However, if you ask nicely, the picture will be clear. Those eyes though, I mean, they're clearly seeing you. Coming in at number 6, we have the painting of Ivan the Terrible and his son Ivan. This 1885 painting by Russian realist artist Ilya Repin has been causing a stir since it was created. The painting shows a mortally wounded Ivan being cradled by his Tsar father, who has wounded him. It is reported in history that he murdered him, although a lot of critics challenge the historical accuracy of that statement and this painting. Nonetheless, it is one of the most famous Russian classics, and it is currently in the Moscow State Technikov Gallery. When the painting was first unveiled, a lot of people claimed to be deeply unsettled by it. Some say they saw something terrible within the picture, other than the already terrible subject matter. In 1913, a mentally ill man slashed the painting with a knife, and it was restored by Repin himself. Once again, the painting was slashed in 2018 by a visitor to the Moscow Museum. Now, he reported to be shouting that he saw terrible images moving within the picture. The man was identified as Igor Podporin, who claimed that he was overwhelmed by something. He later blamed vodka for his outburst. Coming in at number 5, we have Love Letters. Love Letters is a painting of a 4-year-old girl, Samantha Houston, who was painted by Richard King in the style of a pre-existing work by Charles Trevor Garland. Samantha was the daughter of a Texan US senator who died in 1887, aged 4, when she tripped and fell down a staircase as she sadly chased a ball. It seems, as a tribute, the Driscoll Hotel in Texas had a painting of her commissioned. Now, this still stands there today on the 5th floor. It seems that Samantha's spirit may have imprinted on the picture, as guests say that they've heard her giggling when they're nearby. Many guests report feeling like she's trying to tell them something, saying that they've seen her expression change when they look at the picture. Coming into number 4, we have a moving mourning portrait. Now, this is a really scary video uploaded to YouTube in August 2008. Uploaded by Haunting Painting, it is called Scary Ghost Girl Painting Movements Captured, and it's pretty accurate. The painting is of an unknown child in the 18th century and is reportedly a mourning painting, a memento mori. This basically means a painting of a person that's died and it's been commissioned in order to remember them. Now, it seems that this mystery girl is haunting her own painting. The narrator of the video says that she sometimes weeps and that occasionally her mouth opens. Now, this moment was captured on camera, right? Terrifying. Now, a lot of people in the comment section are calling this fake, but honestly, I really didn't like looking at this picture while I was scripting this video. Coming into number 3, we have a painting of a headless man. I am not okay with this painting. Why? Well, because at first it looks like a nice little depiction of an old station wagon. That is until you realize there's a freaking headless man hovering around in it like a decapitated creep. The artist Laura P. painted this image in response to a photograph James Kidd had taken of a stagecoach stop in Tombstone, Arizona. Her finished painting was hung at an office in Arizona, but after 3 days, staff demanded it be returned to her. Workers said that their papers would go missing and that the painting seemed to always move. They reported that despite being constantly straightened, the painting would always become crooked on the wall. Laura then took the painting back and hung it at her home. Unfortunately for her, the weird occurrences surrounding the picture followed her. She said that doors would start opening and closing on their own in the room that the painting was in, and a glass even smashed in her hand right in front of the picture. Laura has expressed a desire to have the image destroyed, regretting ever creating the painting. She is worried what will happen if she does have it destroyed though. She doesn't want to anger the spirit. Coming into number 2, we have The Dead Mother by EDVARD Munch. Like, EDVARD basically just needed a hug. If you recognize his name, that's because he is the artist that was famously behind The Scream. I don't like The Scream either. I mean, it's a very, very good painting and very expressionist, but it freaks me out. However, I have to say this painting freaks me out harder. Munch's work is notoriously filled with pain and anguish, which is more likely than not down to his poor health and his difficult upbringing. His mother died when he was 5, which probably explains this unsettling painting. Now, the painting is called The Dead Mother and was completed in 1900. The picture is already scary to look at, but it gets even creepier when you hear what those who have owned it or worked with it have to say. Firstly, the little girl's eyes are said to incessantly follow people wherever they go, but worse still, it is said that the sheets on the dead mother's bed rustle or move. Some have even sworn that the little girl leaves the painting altogether. Coming into number 1, we have the Hands Resist Him painting. Ugh, this again. I feel like this has come up on a few top 10s before and I do not like it. The Hands Resist Him painting gained notoriety in 2000 when it sold on eBay for just over $1,000. The seller claimed it was haunted, and actually, it probably is. Reportedly, 3 people involved with displaying the painting died, including the art dealer and the art critic who first reviewed the piece. Hands Resist Him is a painting by Bill Stoneman. Now, the name is said to have come from from a poem written by his wife about her husband's adoption. In the painting, a boy is seen standing next to a creepy-looking doll whilst disembodied hands paw at a glass-panelled door behind him. The painting was found abandoned in a Californian brewery, which is where it seems the couple who listed it on eBay found it. The wife wrote, "One morning our 4.5-year-old daughter claimed that the children in the picture were fighting and coming into the room during the night. Now I don't believe in UFOs or Elvis being alive, but my husband was alarmed. To my amusement, he set up a motion-triggered camera for the night." Now the couple claimed that the motion camera even captured the boy exiting the frame under duress from the doll. It was also thought that the hands in the background move. I don't like this. Now the painting was bought by gallery owner Kim Smith, who shows it on request. She does so less and less these days because people keep on complaining of falling ill after viewing the picture. Since gaining notoriety for Hands Resist Him, Bill Stoneman has created a prequel and a sequel image, both of which are horrifying. Well guys, this list has well and truly freaked me out. Which of these moving paintings did you find the scariest? Let me know in the comments section down below. Before I get out of here, I just want to read a few comments from a recent video I did called The Top 10 Scary New York City Urban Legends. Bob said, "Snappy chappies is my new favourite term for alligators." Good, I'm glad, because they are snappy chappies. Lambent Lark wrote, "I used to deliver produce to Hunts Point in the Bronx. It's a distribution centre for the fresh fruit and vegetables going into the city. I saw a rat so big there that it scared my dog. My co-driver wanted to come back with his deer hunting bow. He was sure it was a record book topping rat." Okay, I love living in the city, but the one thing that does freak me out is how close you are to a rat. Apparently you're never that far from mice or rats, and it is really scary. Maybe even scarier than some of the pictures on this list. I don't know, the kind of real life issues. So guys, do let me know what you thought of this video, and also let me know what top 10 you would like us to film next. Make sure you're always leaving a thumbs up and sharing these videos with friends. I'm your host Rebecca Felgate. Once again, if you want to connect with me on social media, the link to my Instagram is in the description box. I will see you honeys next time. Stay safe.